Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, and today what I really want to go over is something a little bit different for this Wednesday. This is probably going to be our last Wednesday that is predominantly virtual. And so I figured for today, I'm going to give you options. Let me show you. Now, if you remember yesterday, we were talking about the nervous system. And we were going over the effect that drugs have on the nervous system, mimicking neurotransmitters, blocking receptors, things like that. Well, we are here still in Unit 6, Week 5, the Wednesday bonus folder right here. And you can kind of see the guide already. So the assignment is going to be to complete one of the 6 drugs that are in this activity. Or if you do 3 of them, then I will use this as a makeup lab. It will replace another lab in your grades, and that 0 that you may have from some other thing, like let's say something like the nervous system lab that you missed because you were called down to the office, so you never had a chance to do the hand in the cold water, like all of that, great, this will take its place. If you do, and this is exclusive for the people who view this, because you're the only ones who will know, if you do 5 out of the 6, I will count this for 2 labs. I gotta say, it's a pretty good deal. Let me show you how this works. So if you go into our Wednesday bonus, you're gonna get our worksheet, the Mouse Party PDF. Now, for this, it comes out kind of sideways, which I don't know why it keeps wanting to print. Just cancel that, and it should load just fine. There it is. Nope, never mind. I would suggest downloading a copy because then you can open this on Cami. You can turn it sideways. So, yeah. You know what? I really should have done that. Let me do that. See, this is the kind of thing you can avoid if you plan ahead. If you know what you're doing. Mr. Matthews does not plan ahead, nor does he know what he is doing. All right, so when you see this, what you're going to see is down the left-hand side, we're going to have 6 different groups of drugs. Things like heroin, alcohol, marijuana, et cetera, et cetera. In the middle, it's going to ask you about what kind of neurotransmitter is involved. So for heroin, what neurotransmitter or neurotransmitters are involved? You'd want to write those down. The action of the drug. Now, to help you out here, the action of the drug is always going to be one of 3 things. It is either going to mimic, it's going to block, or it is going to interfere. It'll be one of those 3. Like if you take a look here, heroin, whatever neurotransmitters are involved, their example picture shows heroin binding to this receptor, and that's going to release these inhibitors. So that's interfering. It's not acting like one. It's not blocking one. Instead, it's causing interference. It's going to affect the capability of those things happening. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to write down the number of neurotransmitters or which neurotransmitters are involved. Give me the action. Is it mimic, block, or interfere? And then I recognize, especially with a touchpad and Cami with drawings, it's going to be real hard to like kind of draw much of anything around here. So, you know, I don't expect great pictures. But you do want to try to provide a picture that kind of explains what's happening here in this term of mimic, blocking, or interfering. Now, the drugs you can choose from are heroin, ecstasy, marijuana, methamphetamines, alcohol, cocaine, and LSD. Now, you may say, all right, but how do I figure out all of these? Well, that's actually kind of the coolest part about this. The University of Utah, in their Understanding Genetics unit, created Mouse Party. And it opens up just fine directly through Schoology, which is a rarity all its own. And if you take a look here, it's going through and you're going to see the effect that the drugs have on the different mice. So this is a whole bunch of mice that have been exposed to different drugs, and we can now test them. So the hand is what you control with your mouse, and you drag a mouse onto the chair. This is the ecstasy mouse, marijuana, methamphetamine, alcohol, cocaine, LSD, and heroin. You get the idea. So let's say we're looking at the ecstasy mouse. So we pick it up. Come on. There we go. Onto the chair. It then takes the mouse into the box. And now
transporters are responsible for removing serotonin molecules from the synaptic cleft after they have done their job.
And so it identifies the neurotransmitters. And then when you're done with that, you click next.
Ecstasy mimics serotonin and is taken up by serotonin transporters. In fact, ecstasy is more readily taken up than serotonin itself.
Right, and it says slide 2 out of 5, so you'll go through all 5, see what happens. When you're done, you eject the mouse, they're thrown back into the tank, and then you can pick another one. And this allows you to go through and see each of the effects that each of these different drugs have. It's a fun animation. It's entertaining. It's easy to go through. And if you do one of the drugs, you get your classroom credit for your work today. If you do 3 of them, it counts as a lab that will fill in whatever lab you may be missing. If you do 5 of them, which is only 2 more than 3, then it counts as 2 labs. 2 in order to, excuse me, replace anything that you may be missing. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mouse Party, and this is going to be our work for today, along with finishing up anything else you need to for the end of the marking period, and otherwise reviewing your nervous system for the upcoming tests next week. So I hope this helps everybody to better understand. Have a great day, and I'll see you in class.